welcome to another episode of Cooking for Christ. You just want to cut these at a slight angle, Lucas. The power of quiche compels you. These Bloody Virgin Marys are superb, and Lucas can have one too. Oh, the sin of Eve! In the name of the flavor, the spice, and the buttered toast. Yeah, we're cooking for Christ.
I pee on myself 15 times a day.
Whenever I see you take a shit, I have to shit myself because I love you. Yes, I do.
White people have always prioritized pets over black people. Not as a joke, as policy, as culture, as strategy. You ever seen a white woman weep for a rescue dog, but not blink at a black child shot in the back? That's not a quirk. That's colonial memory at work. That's whiteness distributing empathy based on control. They loved the dog because it obeyed, because it didn't talk back, because it couldn't remind them of the horror behind the house. But black people were never allowed to be innocent. They were property, then threat, and the dog got more compassion than the enslaved. Dogs got names, graves, paintings. Black people got numbers, chains, and unmarked soil. White feelings will organize a march for a dolphin, but stay silent during genocide. When Amy Cooper clutched her dog and called the cops on a black man, that wasn't a mistake. That was a ritual. The pet in her hand, the cop on the line, that's the structure. That's whiteness in full performance. Protect the pet, punish black people. It's not about loving animals. It's about refusing to love what they can't control. The pet becomes sacred. The black body becomes target.
Now RFK Jr. is like, processed foods are bad, but he's not doing it with any research backing it. It's just his wild conspiracy theories, and I'm concerned.
What planet are you from?
I don't know planet-wise, but I do know that I was a dragon being.
I just bumped into a fellow trans sister. Thank you so much. I just bumped into a fellow trans sister. Say who you are, boo.
Hi, I'm Dixie.
Dixie Normus.
I have gender skin color dysphoria. Yep. I am a white lesbian trapped in a black man's body. I'm 6 months pregnant and I love my husband, but the LGBTQ community won't accept me. And they tell me you could be what you want to be.
We think that it is enough merely to train our children in Afrocentric thoughts and orientations. However, to train them in Afrocentric thoughts and orientation in mathematics and science without also preparing a nation for them is filled with problems. And often it means then that you will educate maybe a very brilliant mathematician who has Afrocentric ideas, but who in the end still must work for IBM and AT&T and the rest. And he'll find himself frustrated and upset, but in order to earn his bread, he's got to work for the enemy.
Show me the dumb child.
Dumb child?
Okay, why is she the dumb child?
Because she has black skin.
Show me the mean child. Why is he the mean child?
Because he's brown.
Show me the bad child. Why is he the bad child?
Because he is black.
Okay. Show me the ugly child. Why is he the ugly child?
Because he's brown, black.
Show me the child who has the skin color most children like. Show me the child who has the skin color most children don't like.
The white man is enacting a story all over the world. We
homes and just flooded the world. We smothered culture. We smothered knowledge. We erased history and rewrote it our way. Myself, my grandfather is 100% Ashkenazi Jewish. Claiming to be Jewish, Ashkenazi Jewish is just a conspiracy. White men claiming to be of tribes of Israel when I'm Germanic. You know, I have no ties to Israel, no ties to Judaism. You know, except loosely written history that's been whitewashed over for centuries. And, you know, it's from the Renaissance. Oh yeah, right. You wipe everything clean. It's funny how exactly the Renaissance. It's this rebirth, but it's white rebirth. I think at the same exact time the Renaissance is happening, Columbus is sailing to America and committing genocide.
Got a book called 100 Years of Lynching, written by white men, taking black women who was 4 months pregnant. They took us for years and hung us up with the feet and stuck a dagger in the stomach and ripped it and pulled the unborn baby out just to put fear in other slaves. They tied up black people to horses and 2 horses and pulled his arms out and pulled his legs out. Lemonade trains with white children and white people of America used to come and watch them tie up 10 or 15 black men and pour gasoline on them and burn them, watch them burn alive. They took us and hung us up with trees and shot us with bullets. They took and cut a hand off and gave it to the little boy and they took the leg off. And this is worse than the devil.
All right, but...
see, the devil, the preacher in the church taught us that the devil was up under the ground.
Right.
And he'll wait till he died before he burn us up. This white devil in America was worse because he burned us while we was alive.
Lower your voice or you're going to jail.
Listen to this guy, okay? Do you believe in this?
Sit down. Sit down. Do you understand that? When I tell you to do something, you do it.
Yeah, is that right?
Okay.
You're on a power trip? Is that what it is?
No.
Okay.
I need you to listen. That's what's up.
I'm just standing on the street corner talking to this guy I just met, and all of a sudden you're pushing me down and being real physical with
Yeah,
me.
you know why?
I don't understand. No, I don't know why.
Lower your voice. Lower your voice.
Really?
Okay?
Do I have to do this?
Yes, I'm telling you the voice.
Okay.
Listen to me.
Because
I'm going to tell you one more time. I'm going to tell you one more time or you're going to go to jail.
Is that right?
Lower your voice or you're going to jail. Do you have ID on you, sir?
Yes, sir. I sure do. I don't understand why you're doing this. Why you're pushing?
Because I don't like people testing me. I don't like people not
either. Okay. Are you done? Can I show you my ID?
Give me your arm.
I've done nothing.
Stop talking!
White nation!
White nation!
Now we start the deportation!
Now we start the deportation!
White nations!
White nation!
Close borders!
Close borders!
Now we start the deportation!
Now we start the deportation!
Anybody want to share their name? Anybody want to share their face, or are you too embarrassed? What friends? I'm here alone, you pussy.
No, we're just trying to make sure that our guys get home safe and sound.
I bet you are.
Cool.
So because you're not welcome here.
So you can go over there.
This is public property.
You can go over there.
No, we're doing it for your benefit.
For my benefit, because I'm a white male.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
If you or anybody...
Say it out loud.
Yeah, so just go on.
Get out of here.
Where?
Get out of here.
This is public. You get the fuck out of here. You're
not
welcome here.
What do you think we're doing?
Good. Get the fuck out.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
What's your name?
My name is... Please leave. Yeah.
Hold up. All right. Thanks, Sam. What's your last name?
My name is Happy Memorial Day.
Hey, have a good one, guys. Thanks for getting the fuck out of here. Please don't return.
Sir, you want my name?
Yeah, what's your name, bud?
Thomas Ryan Rousseau.
Thanks, Thomas. I bet you're trying to get famous with Trump for this.
What?
You gonna run for office now?
What?
You gonna run for office now? Are you from here?
All right, cool. Texas.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Flag terrorism, and these were the cases that made my ex-partner and I quit and decide to go public and blow the whistle on MI5. And the first one was the bombing of the Israeli embassy in London in 1994. Now, in this case, 2 Palestinian students were arrested, and they were tried and convicted and sentenced to 20 years in prison each for conspiring to cause this explosion. And yet MI5 had information that Mossad, the Israeli intelligence agency, had actually bombed its own embassy. And it had done that for 2 reasons. One was to increase security around all the Israeli assets in London. They were always hassling for it, and MI5 was always saying, no, there's not a threat. But they also wanted to shatter a Palestinian political support network which was operating in London at the time, which these two students belonged to. And the lead investigator in MI5, whose code number was, his sort of James Bond number was G91, had seen all the evidence and all the intelligence, and he made that official assessment that Mossad had done this.
Now, I remember this vaguely. This is, we're talking 14 years ago.
It's a long time
but
ago.
But it was huge at the time. I mean, it was a huge worldwide story.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, there'd been an earlier attack against some Jewish interest section in Buenos Aires earlier that year as well. Similar sort of MO, modus operandi, with a car bomb driven and parked outside that exploded.
So in 1994, a car bomb explodes outside the Israeli embassy in London.
In London, yeah.
Anyone hurt or killed? I don't remember.
Very minor injuries, that was all. Okay. Nobody was killed. And it was a very sophisticated device. It appeared to eat itself, eat all the forensics. Now, this is very, very rare. Even the IRA, which is a very sophisticated terrorist organisation, could not make bombs that effective. So it looked like a, sort of fairly technical person had put that together. But what emerged from that, the senior MI5 officer who was in charge of the investigation into it and had seen all the evidence but also all the intelligence, which isn't necessarily admissible in court, wrote his formal assessment at the end of the case, and he said he reckoned that Mossad, the Israeli External Intelligence Agency, had bombed their own embassy. A sort of controlled explosion outside the embassy. And as I said, that was a senior MI5 officer. That was his formal verdict. If you read that on the internet now, you would say that sounds like some mad conspiracy theory. But it wasn't. This was the official position of MI5. And he said that they did it for two reasons. One, they were always hassling MI5 for increased security around their embassy and other interests in London. Because, of course, London had a reputation of giving safe haven to Arab dissidents from around the world at that point. And MI5 kept saying, well, there's no reason to increase the threat assessment. You don't need extra protection. So letting off a controlled explosion outside, of course, they immediately got what they wanted there. But crucially, two innocent Palestinians were arrested, charged and convicted of conspiracy to cause that attack. And they were very active in a Palestinian support network in London, political campaigning for the people on the West Bank.
Okay, maybe everyone but me knew this, but I just learned from the book I'm reading, I'll put it right here, that the 3 meals a day thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is from colonialism and white supremacy. That when the European colonizers came and saw the indigenous people eating when they were hungry.
Yep, trust me, we know. We know to only eat when the sun is right in the middle because we understand the natural rhythm of things. The problem is certain people think they are civilized than the indigenous people, but we've been knowing to only eat once a day and to actually only eat not out of addiction, but when you feel the energy to recharge. That's when we eat. We've been knowing. So decon us.
Do you wear a diaper? No, because
I don't like them to fit us.
I don't want the guy to touch my butt and feel a diaper. That little noise when you wear.
I'm talking about cloth diapers.
Megan and Vanessa playfully joked that the world needs to create a special kind of diaper designed for plus-sized individuals. One that is not only functional, but also sexy and comfortable.
Way back before refrigeration. Do you know how they used to keep milk fresh?
They buried it.
It extended the shelf life of milk that you could keep in your home by weeks. You know what they used to do? They'd put a frog in it. And you know why you put a frog in it?
Bro, listen.
Frogs on their skin, because their skin is actually it's a lung, it's a membrane, it's actually how they breathe. It's very permeable. Okay. That's why frogs are the canary in the coal mine in the waterways. If there's a touch of pollutant in a stream,
You want to have frogs in it.
Frogs will die because their skin is so permeable.
Okay.
But you know what they have on their skin? No. It's the most incredible microbial solution, because they can't have any microbes or bacteria or fungus grow on their skin because they'll die. They're that sensitive. So they have produced this incredible
Like an antifungal, antimicrobial.
Dude, why they haven't now derived that instead of all these ridiculous toxins that they're using to keep our products on the shelf? Why they don't study that? I don't know.
And then they eat their body parts.
Different type of pepperoni, right?
Pepperoni is for black children.
What's the term for the white one?
I think it's just cheese pizza. Yeah.
You should have heard what they call crust.
Really?
Really?
Just the crust.
You never told me that.
I don't even want to explain what that is.
I could only imagine.
What's that, Asians?
Crazy. Yes, Asians.
Got it.
100%.
Could you really blow fire?
Yes, but it's not fire in the way we think of it. It's more cleansing fire. I always kind of felt attracted to dragons, just feeling like, oh yeah, this is my kind of being. But then, as I was really feeling that, allowing myself to open up more, I'm like, I know what it's like to be a dragon. I know the physical sensations
And then you was on mushrooms and you was just feeling it?
It's actually weed.
Yes, I can impersonate a volcano.
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% know is true?
Root canals. There's this YouTube video, which before was a documentary on Netflix before it got pulled after 2 weeks, known as The Root Cause. The Root Cause discusses the big psyop by dental industry and by big pharma to fuck people's health up through root canals. You can't even watch it in the United States. You have to turn on a VPN because it's banned by the American Dental Association, which is in bed with big pharma. I had a root canal recently removed, and once they did the DNA biopsy on the tooth, they found 20 different types of parasites growing and living inside of my jaw, which is absolutely horrendous. And obviously the dentist isn't going to tell you that. So stay away from fluoride, stay away from root canals.
I mean, first, the hippie movement probably was to co-opt the anti-war movement that was pretty buttoned up. Like,
Yes.
I suspect that LSD did not just escape the lab. I suspect they were like, quick, turn all these kids into crazy hippies. Like, try this out, try this out, try this out. Check this out. Have you read Strange Scenes Inside Laurel Canyon?
I started to read it. I have not finished it.
If you take that book's premise, it's basically that before the hippie movement, there was a very powerful organized anti-war movement led by a bunch of Quakers, a bunch of black activists, a bunch of, like, my dad was one of them. And it was not this hippie fringe thing. It was a very powerful anti-Vietnam protest. And the moment that LSD gets introduced, it becomes all peace and love. And he points out in that book how all of these people, like Frank Zappa, like lead members of the Doors, people organizing the Monterey Pop Festival, they all just happen to move from wherever they are all over the world into this area in LA that is not a hotbed for music. And they all just start making music about peace and love and doing LSD. And all of them have parents that are from special forces, intelligence operations, Pentagon,
Like
overseas.
who in specific?
Like the lead singer of the Doors, Jim Morrison, for
Yeah.
example. Frank Zappa's dad worked at the base that was like the chemical weapons, like where they did their chemical weapons research. His dad was a chemical weapons specialist in with like top secret clearances, which is basically like when you read about what his dad was, it sounds a lot like what MK Ultra would be.
Yeah, that work. That's why they don't want you to speak Creole. You figured out the whole shit. For example, they told you that Chicago, right? Oh, it was the so-called Haitian was the founder. He was no founder. He don't find nothing. He was born to that. He didn't find nothing. How you a founder? You find civilization. No, you were born to that civilization. Now, people walking around say, yo, you know, I'm foundation, man. I'm foundation, man. These Haitians out here, or these people, these Jamaicans, are you kidding me? But this is how they love to do it, to keep us divided and to hide the truth from us, let alone these people doing this shit have no history. They don't know nothing about nothing. For example, every single time you hear the word Illinois, you really think you're saying Illinois? It's Creole. When you hear Illinois, it's Creole. It means Île, Li, Noir. That means his island is black. Is that how you always see they depict these indigenous people? Tar. Tar means noir. Tar. That's why all Tartaria have, that's why they call it Tartaria. Tar means noir. So when you say Illinois is a Creole, it means Île, Li, Noir. You said Illinois because you anglicize it, but you don't speak Creole. You don't know. It means his island is black. You're saying Detroit is Detroit. It's Creole. Detroit. 2 and 3 Creole. That's why they don't want you to know that This is what the original language of the people is. They're confusing you. Now you talk about Mississippi. You have people talk about, oh, Mississippi Empire trying to make... This is all Creole. Missy means I am here. CP means so worse because it was war. Go looking at the situation between Mississippi and Alabama. This was the Ottoman Empire war. That's why I call Alabama. It is a Turk word for Allah. That means the land of Allah. This is those two that was fighting between the Mississippi and Alabama, the river in between. This was the Ottoman Empire and the Icy Empire.
So music used to be tuned to 432.
We talk about hurts all the time. Please don't hurt me.
We're going deep, baby.
Don't talk about it. Because we literally, yeah.
The Nazis,
Yeah.
for their propaganda programs, tuned it to 440 because it was more applicable to, I forget the exact wording, but it made your brain more susceptible to iconography or to
Brainwashing. Propaganda,
Yeah,
brainwashing,
to
manipulation.
Suggestion, I think is the word I was looking for. And so now we tune all our music to 440 because of that.
It's also a little bit irritating to the body.
Yeah.
And
Intentionally so.
Intentionally so.
Yeah.
I was in the studio a long time ago and I was like, I would like to tune all my stuff to what's the right number?
432.
432. And they were like, oh, we can't. It would take too many dials and stuff.
Yeah.
And it would all sound out of tune to people.
Yeah.
But that is
Interesting.
real.
Well, because actually, I know that does make sense now because you can't tune, like you can't melodyne to 432. You
cannot.
can't do that. You can't auto-tune to 432.
You have to sing the whole song and then change it and then change each thing into it.
Yeah.
Which is I can't.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It's strange. It's very
further
strange.
proof of the manipulation. We often talk about how we think we're so free.
We're not
free.
And we're not. We're very controlled.
Another question for you is, so over the weekend, President Trump posted Truth Social a video highlighting what most people call the Clinton body count, which is the strange number of suicides that seem to happen in Clinton circles. I have a headline here from the Washington Post that said, Trump peddles false conspiracy theories tying the Clintons to several deaths. So I just wanted to highlight real quick, this wasn't in Trump's video, but this is from the Arkansas Times, and it's the death of Mark Middleton, who was a former Clinton White House aide, who was found dead on a Clinton Foundation property, and I'll just quote from the Arkansas Times. Middleton apparently shot himself in the chest with a shotgun and also hung himself from a tree with an extension cord. So I have no idea how somebody commits suicide that way, but if the Washington Post is here, maybe you can enlighten us as to how that was actually a suicide. So anyways, that's just a lead into my question about the most famous Clinton-related suicide, which is that of Jeffrey Epstein. There's still a lot of questions around that case. You've released phase 1 of the Epstein files. What was missing from that is any connection to his ties to intelligence agencies, and that's really the whole story, that not just trafficking young girls, but doing it on behalf of intelligence agencies, and even potentially as part of a blackmail ring with potential ties to the Israeli government. So for phase 2, when can we expect it? Will it have information pertaining to those aspects of the Epstein case?
I know the Attorney General has committed to releasing those files. I would defer you to the Department of Justice on her timeline, but when she has made a promise in the past, she has kept it, and I'm certain that she will in this case as well.
And now comes my favorite part, where we frost them. We're going to use a red frosting, and red to represent the blood of Christ. You'll notice it's a little bit darker than red, and we are not going to eat the frosting like some little pig, some little forgotten animal on Noah's Ark. Now we get to the cabinet, don't we? Get in there, you little spawn of Satan! I banish thee from this Eden of my kitchen! Ah, fie unto thee, Adam, thou hast fallen! And Lucas is going to repent in the cabinet for 30 minutes.